what we've done here, we took off the other gate valve that was here, which was quite big bulky thing, and it was quite a bit longer. So we switched it out for a smaller type ball valve. We have one of the quick release fittings for the plastic pipe. These are Festo fittings with the brass, and this spins independent. And on the secondary tank here, which was once upon a time a gas cylinder, we done the same. We put another one of the 90s on this side and another gate valve here. Idea being with this is that if I want to do something the other side of this tank, whereas before I only had one gate valve on the compressor, so if I wanted to disconnect that in here, I had to drain it, which was a bit of a pain. Now I've had this done for a couple of days, and you see the other air line here, and that's running off in there. And what happened was I discovered I had a bit of an air leak, so I just had this sitting here with this monitoring gauge plugged into it, and it's holding steady, but just to be sure, a little spray bottle here. I'll just water in this and washing up liquid, or dish soap as the Americans call it. And what we're going to do is we're going to spray down anywhere that I put PTFE tape, like that, and we'll just leave that sit there for a while and come back and see, do we have a leak. If we have a leak, it'll be very evident. Right, so I've let that sit for a few minutes, and you can see there, you can see the bubbles forming. So we have a slight air leak here. So I have a suspicion as to why this happened. I ran out of regular PTFE tape when I was doing this, and I had some for gas, and I used that. So you can see the bubbles forming there. So there's a leak in that joint. So what we'll do is we'll drain down this tank, and we will redo it. I got some proper PTFE tape, so we'll use that now. Okay, so I have the tank drained. Let's release that. I'm just going to redo the whole lot. beauty of these connectors is that they swivel even when you have them tightened up. So what we'll do now is we'll fill it and see, do we have a leak this time. So I just need to plug back in my pressure gauge and let it fill. Right. No bubbles, no troubles. Right, so what I'll do now is I'll let it sit like that, turn the compressor off, and we know that our pressure is at 100 psi, so we'll just let it sit now for a couple of days and see that it holds pressure. I'm probably going to end up moving this compressor over to underneath where the bench is. I'm going to get rid of the two wooden drawer things that are there, and that's sitting up there. I'll get rid of the two wooden drawers that are there, and the compressor is going to live in under there. Reason being, I kind of have it in my head at some point to get a bigger compressor. I have a new regulator and filter on the way for this now, water trap, so that should be here soon. But I'd like to get a bigger compressor. I reckon between the compressor tank, which is what is it? I think it's 25 litre, and this, I reckon I have maybe 100 litres. Maybe a little more, I'm not too sure, but as this tank holds, this is what I had this before I ever had a compressor, and the way I had it done was I had an inlet on this side, and what I used to do is I used to bring it up the road to the garage and fill it with compressed air and then bring it home. So you had compressed air if you wanted to blow out set carburetors on a bike or something like that. So when I got the compressor, then it just kind of made sense to make it into a second tank. But I'll have it in under the bench, and I want to put some legs on it maybe, and some wheels, and have it down on its side, and I want to add a drain valve. I'll drill a hole in it and weld in a bung so I can drain the moisture off it. So we'll just let that sit and see where it goes, and hopefully it won't go anywhere and it'll hold pressure. So we'll leave it there for now. So the next part of this plan will be to, when the regulator moisture trap comes, we'll figure out what we're going to do. Now I'll probably just leave it here for now to get the rest of the place sorted out, because I'm still moving so much stuff around and kind of changing my mind on this and that and the other. So I just, it'll get worse before it gets better. So I'll give it a clean now while we're at it. Good little compressor. I've had this compressor 10 years and or more. I think I bought it in 2006 or 2007. Yeah, around that time frame. And I was doing oil change in it one of the days. And get some compressor oil and fill it up. Fresh oil. Haven't done it in a while, so be no harm. And you wear a filter. Do it no harm. Good little compressor though. What I want, it's adequate, but I would like a bigger one where I have more capacity. So it's about 4 days since I shot the last segment, and it has not moved. So I have that little problem sorted, which was becoming quite annoying, because half the time I'd go off out here and I'd leave the compressor turned on and then it'd fire up in the middle of the night, and you know yourself what neighbours can be like. But no one complained or anything, but you know, I just don't want to take the risk. So I'm still waiting for my regulator and air filter to come, so I can't really go any further with that now until that stuff arrives. But hopefully it'll be here soon, so we'll leave it there for this video, and we'll be back again when we get on a bit further. So the place is an absolute tip at the moment. Absolute tip. What can you do? Oh well, get you in the next one.